If you have that bunch of mats stacked up in one space, they are going to step off the mat. There's also going to be more trip hazards, more risk of the mats curling. With AcroMat, I can make it where that team member never has to leave the mat. EHS Manager is an environmental health and safety manager. We've spent a lot of time documenting on safety walks, just noting how many mats were damaged, how many mats were stacked or moving, and if it was causing a hazard, and it looked incredibly messy. I think the biggest challenge was using the same product everywhere. Everybody was just kind of shopping on their own, and they were all kinds of shapes and sizes, and they all failed numerous times.
Some of the other mats were, if they got wet with coolant, it would become slick. So no matter how good your boots gripped, you were gonna slip. There are some other ones that are just kind of cushy, but they don't last very long. They'll degrade and get holes in them, deteriorate a lot faster.
There wasn't a whole lot of difference between the cement and the mat, to be honest with you. It's one of those things that as you're walking out at night, you can barely walk because my feet hurt so bad.
Our Plant 3 EHS Manager actually got a AcroMat sample in, and they trialed it out in Plant 3.
We were all fighting over it because we all wanted to try it out, and once we tried it out, we all wanted to be on it. Everybody was like, you were on it yesterday. It was a lot different. You couldn't tell you were on cement at all.
The operator that's been working on it for an extended period of time at that point had nothing but good things to say about it. And then the next thing you know, we were just measuring everywhere, and we're gonna kind of make a standard here that we use these mats.
You feel like you can walk a lot longer. I don't want to be like cliche, but it's almost like you're walking on like a cloud.
My pain disappeared on me after being on it for a day. It shocked me because I figured I'd still at least have some pain, so the fact that my back wasn't hurting, my feet weren't hurting, that was the biggest thing for me.
On the new mats, the grip is like fantastic. It doesn't matter if your feet are wet, it doesn't slide at all.
So the custom size of mat avoids right off the bat having to have more than one mat to try to cover an entire area. They can put all types of shapes and angles and pieces to something. So if I had a table, they can build a mat that will go all the way around that table, one continuous mat. I can make it where that team member never has to leave the mat except for, really leaving their workstation. Whereas if you have that bunch of mats stacked up in one space, they are going to step off the mat. There's also going to be more trip hazards, more risk of the mats curling.
With other mats, you're not always on that mat, but with the AcroMat, your whole day you spend, the majority of it on that mat, which definitely helps your feet.
Now that we have these mats, everybody uses the mats. Nobody trips on them, nobody rolls them up and puts them off to the side. We all work on the mats the entire time we're here.
We've got enough data now at this point, but this is a trusted mat, it's a trusted company. So our managers right now will just reach out to us specifically and ask, hey, I need a mat here, or can we measure for a mat there? And they're only thinking of one mat at this point. That's the biggest thing I would say. They're not looking and they're not searching. They're always coming back to myself or AcroMat for that same style of mat.